You know, I really gave this some thought. You want to be the ex that he talks trash about to everybody.
Why would anyone want to be that?
You want to be that because all that means is you was that he could never control. You was he tried to break and he failed miserably.
She said it like it's something to be proud of.
You was that got away. All the others kept going back. You was that wasn't fazed by all the negative he had to say about you in the streets.
Why put yourself in such a situation? And why advise people to do so?
You know, he said your coochie smelled. He said your cooking is terrible. He said your house was dirty. He said you're a terrible mother.
He wouldn't say those things for no reason. And to be honest, no man would want such qualities in his partner.
He said you're a cheater. He said you're a backstabber. He said you f***ed all your co-workers. He said he can't trust you. He said he's the reason that you're famous and successful. He got so much shit about you when he running your name into the dirt in the streets. Because you was smart enough to get away from him and never look back.
It doesn't all have to be that way. If both parties are respectful toward each other, it lasts.
Oh, by the way, he also told everybody that he could have you anytime he wanted to. If he whistled, you would come back. You ain't looked back. And he is checking. And his family is checking. You still ain't went back. They all stalking your social media because of him.
Trust me, no one has the time to check. People are busy living their lives.
After he told everybody he could have you anytime he want. He hates your because you're not gullible and weak like all his exes.
I have the feeling this is personal.
You're just not that girl that he wants you to be. You're not a weak bitch like his mama. He hates that. Let me tell you something. Let him talk all the world. See, me personally, all my exes, I'll be sitting up laughing.
Sometimes the bitterness is a lot, and people can treat it with therapy or by seeking help. And for men, the only way they deal with it is to work all the time, to stay busy from the negativity.
I hope they tear my mother name in the ground. I don't care if the call me crazy, psycho, bitter, yada, 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 miserable. I got the out. I'm winning. I'm a household name. My name rings bells internationally. I'm known. Celebrities are all in my comments.
I'm not sure about that.
I left my boyfriend and I've been traveling for 10 days and I've slept with 22 people.
Unbelievable. I'm just speechless. My wallet, my choice. My resources, my choice. My time, my choice. My attention, my choice. Welcome to equality, ladies. Your new forever home.
There's a lot of talk out there of bitter baby mums and bitter women that are just bitter because their father of their children left, started a new relationship. Do you know what? I don't for starters, the bitterness doesn't come from that. Like, I actually don't think it's bitterness.
It is bitterness, and it comes from a lot of factors.
It's accountability. It's disappointment and frustration with how little it takes for a dad. The willingness and just not show up for your kids.
Trust me, high-value men take care of their kids no matter what.
It's just something I can't wrap my brain around. We talk a lot about bitter baby mums, but you know what? Why don't we talk about bitter baby dads? Why don't we talk about the fact that when a dude is no longer in a relationship with you, he does not feel the need to continue his parental obligation.
Not at all. He will still take responsibility and be there for his kid, and that's it.
To his children. That falls to you. We don't talk about the bitter baby dads that just don't participate in the schooling of their children at all.
They will take care of their kids, not their ex.
We don't talk about how bitter baby dads will literally make promises to their kids about how they will show up for them and then just don't.
Sometimes there are things a man can't control, and his kid will understand one day that his dad was under a lot of pressure.
We don't talk about how bitter baby dads will withhold financial support for their children to I don't know, do after school activities, or to buy a school uniform, or to just do anything. We don't talk about the fact that bitter baby dads, because they don't want the mother, the woman, to have anything, that they will withhold that from their children.
Why would they take care of her? They are only obliged to take care of their sons or daughters.
We don't talk about the fact that bitter baby dads will punish the mum through the children. Like, we just don't talk about that.
We also do not talk about the rare cases. And hear me out, I'm not generalizing, but these cases do happen, where a mom takes the child support and spends 20% of it on the kid and keeps the rest.
Because when you see a bitter baby dad, he's very quickly reframed and repackaged as a dad that just wants to be around his kids, but the bitter baby mum won't let him. I just can't believe this is where we're at. That this is my second Christmas of just being this. Yeah.
She's out of words.
Like I say, believed my husband for the almost 15 years that we were together. I believed him talk about how he could not believe how his dad had treated him, remarried, and he was always so vocal about I just don't understand how a dad can do that. And then,
remember, guys, there are always two sides to every story.
he's just living the same life. There's so much blame and stuff attributed at the end, right? Where it's like, well, you should have picked better, you should have done this. How the fuck was I supposed to know that this dude who seemed to love me so much, this dude who pushed for children, this dude who, created his whole fucking image off of being this dedicated dad.
Honestly, we should see the guy's perspective to get a clear picture.
This dude who almost daily would remind me about how he would never do to his kids what his dad did to him, who would, even towards the end of our relationship, would continually reference the fact that regardless of how we felt about each other, that we would always show up for our kids.
He most definitely must be providing for his kids, because otherwise she would have sued him a long time ago.
Always. And yet it took maybe a couple of weeks of being separated before that was proven to be demonstrably false. And now, a year and a half later, it's no better, it's worse probably.
So from what I understood, this guy is providing for his kids but can't always show up because of his work. So what's the issue? Women who go on social media to say how great their lives are alone don't realize it drives guys away. Women benefit most from marriage in the form of divorce.
Please tell me, where is all the gentlemen at? The real ones. The ones that doesn't get angry when you don't match these standards. The ones that know how to deal with their emotions. The ones that can talk about their feelings.
They are alone enjoying their freedom.
Ones that can express themselves. Where are they at? Please let me know.
Keep hiding, brothers.
To be real honest with you, men benefit greater from marriage than women.
Not really. When the divorce happens, they can lose up to 50%.
The fact that research shows marriage benefits men much more than women, and the happiest demographic is single, unmarried women. That's because when men get married, they take on less labor, and when women get married, they take on more.
Not really. Everyone does their part.
In general, when we're talking about cis-het relationships, women are looking for a partnership. Men are looking for a caretaker.
Men are looking for a wife.
I feel like the men here don't even really initiate. Y'all be letting the women come to y'all because y'all know with so many of us.
Because men are few, and they don't want to be called creeps.
That's also why you guys feel like you're the prize. Because there's so many of us, y'all just feel like y'all don't have to do anything. Like you're too cocky.
Watch how this Sigma male will respond.
Let me ask you this. What makes a prize a prize?
She didn't know how to answer.
A prize is defined by its value. What makes something valuable? its rarity. Since there's less men, we're technically more rare, which by definition makes us the prize. A prize is based on value, and value is determined by its rarity.
He handled the situation like a pro.
Technically, yes, but I don't feel like that's the perspective.
It's not about how you feel. It's about the known facts.
When the man is not fully committed, he will not take responsibility for the woman in a way that will make her feel covered for, provided for, protected, cherished, and adored.
Yes. Why would he? A man will only take care of his wife, mother, and kids.
And safe. Therefore, as a result of that, because he's the leader, she then will become more and more independent, which means you do not have a submissive woman anymore.
And we all know social media is to blame.
Absolutely. Which means I am also in self-preservation mode because I'm not safe. I don't know if you're going to take care of me.
So it means that she never trusted him.
I don't know if you got one foot out the door. I don't know why you're not signing the papers or giving me the title or doing whatever. To me, all I know is you aren't sure about me. So if you're not sure about me, I'm not sure about you.
But then we become the problem.
Because a man who is not trusted will not trust.
Said, man, where are they? I keep seeing that video. They're hiding. All of your videos of, screaming and saying how much you hate men and your icks because I don't know they breathe. They just decided they're going to be hiding for a while. They're done. They're taking a vacation from women.
Indeed. And let me guess, they will be judged for that too.
They're probably at home. If they're not at work, they're at home. And they're just watching TikToks of women horrified, being very, very happy that they made their choice to just be single and choose peace over crazy toxicity.
It's such a good feeling knowing you didn't make the mistake.
Oh, and where are the good women? They're at home too. Yeah, they're at home looking like this. And all the other girls, they're out at the club, they're at the bar, dating the same 6'3" guy that's probably texting all of them. He has multiple girlfriends, and all the good people were at home.
That's right. All the good ones are alike.
I don't really want to downgrade my lifestyle to date someone.
Yeah.
I worked really hard to have what I have now. And so I don't know, I feel like an older guy, they have the funds. The conversation is usually there, but also with that, they have their own shit in the same way that younger guys do. I think the biggest thing for me though is I'm not looking for a relationship. I would not be actively going out with guys who are 45 years old.
So enjoy loneliness.
Men are so dumb. Women can literally drop hints every day for weeks, months, and years, and men still wouldn't get it. I hope this got your attention because guess what? Men are not mind readers. They are simple-minded, not dumb. Simple-minded meaning they like to think of things point A to point B in a straight line.
Thank you. That is indeed the case.
Versus women who like to go from point A, do a somersault, backflip, back handspring, cartwheel, loop-de-loop around point B, another back handspring, then land on point B.
Exactly. Men like straightforwardness.
Stop expecting men to be mind readers because the risk of misunderstanding always outweighs the benefits of trying to interpret those hints. And this goes for anyone. If you're not grown enough to communicate like an adult, then you're not grown enough to be in a relationship.
Exactly. Some expect men to read their minds, and when they can't, they get bitter and angry.
Remember, point A, point B, straight line.
If you were happy, you wouldn't be complaining on the internet. If you do what you said, why would you need a man?
And honestly, I just don't get action.
You will find out in a few why she is getting no attention.
I really don't. I feel like, not that it's hard to get action, I just feel like I'm so picky with any guy that I would be doing anything with.
Exactly. No guy wants that.
Because first and foremost, men just gross me out. Men just give me the biggest ick.
I'm not surprised.
And I also can't do anything with I need to have an emotional connection, I feel like. And also chemistry and physical attraction is a huge thing for me too. There can be a guy that I'm oh my god, he's so hot, and I've been talking to him for a while. There was this one guy, we were talking for a while, and he was good looking.
Listen to how she humiliated this guy.
But I just didn't, we didn't have chemistry. And I'm not even kidding, he kissed me and I was
that is just rude.
I
I just wasn't expecting guys to still be so immature in their 30s or be so scared of commitment, because now I feel like they have an extra, like when they're a frat boy and they're like, yeah, I'm just trying to live my life, like whatever, okay, that's still annoying, but we get it, you're 23 and you want to live life. But when you're 34, when you're 35 and you're still like, yeah, I don't know what I want, I'm like, dude, you're like old.
So they are making fun of a guy that wants to be left alone. That's honestly not cool.
It's more of this generation, just because everybody wants to be an independent woman, everybody wants to be, but ultimately everybody wants to be taken care of. So I feel that our generation now, a lot of women want to be taken care of, but they also don't want to do what's necessary to be taken care of.
She perfectly explained the situation.
Now the society is all this propaganda with the TV and the Cardi B's and all this. Women feel like when they have their own, that makes them the leader.
Fortunately, right now we live in a society where men are weak. It's why I often talk about masculinity on the show.
Just because men are more into solitude doesn't mean they are weak.
I'm trying to see what examples men are even following. And I think we all realize now we are facing a crisis. We are facing a crisis of manhood. Not only are men not acting like men in terms of leading their homes responsibly, starting families, making sure that they raise up their children to be strong individuals.
Men are just done.
But men don't even stand by their words nowadays, right? I remember growing up, my grandfather used to tell me that they could just do deals on a handshake. Well, I'll do this, you'll do that. Shake hands, walk away. And no, just look the man in the eye and know that he meant what he said. You could never do that now.
Because now we have contracts.
You need contracts, you need lawyers, you need 50,000 pages. And still, after you've signed a 50,000-page lawsuit, it's likely that he might do something to screw over him or her, right? Because nobody means what they say anymore. And that's upsetting.
So men are being extra cautious.
Where have all the good men gone? Do you want to know where they went? They have retreated to their homes. Do you want to know why? Because the good men are the ones that have put in so much effort and had women trash them for putting in the effort.
Imagine doing something good and getting treated badly for it.
They've had women take advantage of them because they want to be a gentleman, they want to open the doors, they want to pay for your dinner, and you just expect that is supposed to happen. The idea that you should have multiple men pandering after you just to see which one is the best is atrocious.
Kindness is done out of the heart, not as an obligation.
And this is coming from someone who very clearly wants traditional values in a man and in a relationship. But I am not going to be ignorant to the idea that I'm going to have to contribute something to that relationship too.
God bless this woman. This is how every woman should think.
I'm going to have to put in the effort as well. I'm going to have to be able to communicate and have conversation and be really comfortable with who I am, but at the same time understand that if I want a man to be comfortable with himself, I am going to have to allow him the ability to feel comfortable.
Well spoken.
Listen to me, women. We have been lied to. We have been deceived by this kind of expectations, these expectations, multiple expectations.
This part always comes after bitterness, and it's called realization and regret.
Of being both successful in our careers and also being great mothers and wives and girlfriends or whatever. I feel at this age that I have been targeted by microaggressions by men throughout my life and my career. You actually can never do right. If you're a mother, why are you a mother and a professional? If you're not a mother, why have you not, had children?
Why listen to others' opinions and try to please everyone? Just live your life and do your best. That's what men do.
If you're successful in your marriage, well, you should be staying at home and taking care of your household. If you're not, how are you managing? Why have you not chosen another career? As a doctor, I promise you, I am attacked, especially by the male species, on regular basis by my choices. If I ever have a bleep, which I had.
It's crazy to listen to what people say and feel this way. That's why men do what they believe and ignore the haters.
earlier last year kind of suffered from tiredness and low iron and iron deficiency anemia, and physically was unwell. I have been judged throughout as if like I had to choose something else.
Once you express yourself on the internet, be open to criticism, because the reality is that once you go that way, it's something you can't avoid.
However, if I make the decision to stay at home and, for example, claim benefits and rely on public funds, then that also I would be a loser. If I'm married to someone who's successful and I don't have a career, I should be doing something about it. However, if I go to work and I'm ambitious, then I have to be absolutely 100% efficient, which I cannot be as a mother and a single parent and a doctor. You can never be. This is an achievable expectation.
All our choices lead to expectations.
I am not an independent woman. I do not care. Like, I make my own money, I have my own goals, but that doesn't mean I'm independent. Like, I need my man. I need to be like feminine in my relationship. Leave me out of that feminist. I am independent. I am not.
She knows that bitterness isn't an advantage.
Are men okay? Are you guys okay? I was just watching a video of a guy like going through a breakup, and I was reading the comments, and all these men are so sad
We're actually great. We don't need anything.
in the comments. They're so sad. Are you guys okay? Like, you guys want to talk about it? Like, you guys are all so sad.
Here is a fact. If a woman cries about a man, it means she loved him. But if a man cries over a woman, he will never love again, and he will only grind for his goals.
Everyone's so divided right now. Everyone's so sad. Are you good? Are you okay? Like, you guys want to talk about it? Y'all are so sad.
First rule of manhood: we do not speak of it.
Most men don't want a independent, strong woman. That is a fact. I'm almost willing to say all.
Nah, that's it.
I ain't gonna say that.
Go ahead.
Nobody want that shit. Nobody wants that shit. Because the word independent means I don't need you. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Yes, look it up. Yes, it does.
They have a point. Men do not want that.
That is a defense mechanism. It is out of habit. It is out of, I have to do this. Independent, strong women do not want to do that. They want to rest.
One day they realize they don't want to do it anymore. And if it's too late, they feel bitter.
Let's break down that an independent woman is actually just a functioning human.
It's just a human paying their bills and having a job. Nothing more.
Where are we finding men now? Because the Hinge pool has a lot of pee in it. So I'm certainly not finding anyone there.
So if they don't get approached anymore, instead of admitting it, they say the dating pool is wrong.
I'm not on Bumble or Tinder, and I don't plan to be. I go to the bars sometimes, but the quality of men there, typically not the best from what I've experienced, but I'm not opposed to it. I go to the grocery store with my hair on top of my head, no makeup, baggy clothes. So I don't think anybody's dying to give me their number when they see me there.
No one is interested.
I'm 30 and beginning to think that this whole dying alone thing isn't going to be like a running joke. It's going to be reality.
If the standards and bitterness stay, it will.
Where are all the good guys? There are no more good guys out there. Good guys don't exist. This is becoming a bit of a theme lately. Now, as a psychotherapist, I can confirm that there are many great guys out there.
Thanks for admitting that.
I've had them sat in my office and I have worked with them. The problem is the great guys, the good, kind, caring, authentic guys, tend to get caught up in toxic relationships, often with narcissists.
So if a man is not appreciated, he will never be seen again.
So these guys are difficult to track down because they've often been pinned down and they've been so abused that they're not able to get out of that relationship and understand and get into a healthy relationship.
So once they get out of it, they never make the same mistake.
A lot of times they'll treat their man like a utility.
Yep.
He coming in, he's paying for everything, he's taking out the trash, he's taking care of me, he's buying me this, he's taking me here, he's doing this, he's doing that. And as long as I'm not cheating on him, then I'm a great woman to him.
Sometimes it's not just that. She needs to do her role as much as he does his.
But you don't realize how many of those areas that you are neglecting.
Neglecting those areas fails the relationship.
I believe there are many reasons why cishet marriages are on the decline, and I'm not going to talk about all of them. But one thing I do think that has become very present to most women and men is that marriage is a safety net for men, and it creates essentially a village around him to prop him up.
On the other hand, to him, it's a 50-50 chance.
And for women, it is a risk. Marriage comes with risk. And the reason I say that, and it's not always the case, there's obviously nuance, but when you get married to a man and tie up your finances with him and have children with him, you take on a level of risk.
He does the same. He could lose 50% of his properties or even his home.
Because typically, women are the ones who leave the workforce to care for children. Women are the ones whose careers take a back seat to their male counterparts. Women are the ones who are left without financial security when they stay at home with their children.
She says it like it's a bad thing. It's something to be proud of.
Women incur a risk. They also incur a risk to their mental health, their emotional health, right? When you marry a male partner and he expects you to prop him up and to support him, to carry the mental load, to do all the domestic labor, to prioritize his career, to bear children for him, then you are viewed as a tool to his success.
Not really. Those children are hers too.
Men with no... Where are you?
Very far away.
What are you doing?
Where the hell do y'all be finding these men that are obsessed with you? Good fathers?
There's no good masculine men out there who can actually help me with the basic necessities of life, and so I gotta do it all on my own.
Can someone tell me where I can find a decent, loyal, funny, good-looking guy around here?
What is it with men these days and not wanting to date?
They've chosen the peaceful road.
Do you guys have a fear of commitment? Is it the woman these days? Does it have anything to do with spending money on women? Does it have anything to do with trust issues?
It is mainly associated with not wanting to lose everything and being treated with a bitter attitude.
Maybe dating apps? Maybe you feel like there are endless options in terms of significant others?
Man chooses one option, and it is money.
At the end of the day, men are going to be men. Like, they love women at the end of the day, and if you're in a relationship, you're pursuing her, so you're going to want to follow what she is expecting from you.
That is called taking something for granted, and that is dangerous.
Nowadays, men aren't proper men anymore, and to me, one of the gravest sins a man can commit against a woman is wasting her time. You're not ready. You're not financially capable. You're not emotionally capable. You're nowhere near ready taking on the responsibility that is caring and protecting a woman.
Sometimes when they talk about this subject, you can tell it's personal. Instead of speaking neutrally.
Red flag. He is emotionally unstable. Girl, that man has a temper, or he cannot communicate like an adult. When he's upset, he'll yell, or he'll throw a fit, or he'll just disappear. He'll go ghost instead of having a conversation. When things don't go his way, he'll be mean to you, maybe call you names, but then he'll apologize afterward. No, anything said out of emotion is something that's already been in his head. Trust me, he's just using this situation to let it all out, thinking an apology can erase it and sweep it under the rug.
If they do it, they make excuses. But if we do it, it's a red flag.
You cannot forget how he treats you or what he says to you when he is not in a good mood. You want an emotionally stable man who is capable of keeping both his words and actions in check. He knows how to communicate through arguments and disagreements. An emotionally stable man will never call you out of your name.
You also, my brother, should choose a woman that is understanding, not one that would leave you for the silliest things, labeling them as a red flag.
Or act out of character. He knows how to regulate his emotions in a healthy and safe way. Do not make excuses for an emotionally unstable man.
She is talking about a robot because no human being can program their feelings.
Huge red flag. If he is emotionally unstable, toss him back, girl. It is not worth the fight.
Unbelievable.
He just stops, right? He's just decided, like, this isn't going to be a thing. I'm not going to move forward anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and take back my energetic resources. I'm not going to invest any further in this. And for women, it seems very cold and heartless and immature and, oh my God, he doesn't know how to communicate. And there's all these stories, right?
But once a man is done, he is done for good.
I figured it out. I know where all of the men who are seeking emotional connection and mental connection and spiritual connection are. Are you ready to hear where they are? They're at home. They're at the gym. They're at work. They're busy healing themselves and they don't have any more time to be seeking out different people at bars or clubs or
Men have no energy left for that stuff.
out in the streets, because that's not where they are. All right, if you are looking for one, find them at your local grocery store, find them at your local gym. All right, this is where they are, because they are focused. They are tired of having women take advantage of them. They are tired of getting manipulated, and apparently they have all just dealt with a lot of narcissist people.
So, knowing all this, why are you telling them where to find them? They clearly don't want to be found.
And they're just sick of it. So they're not even willing to put themselves out there anymore, because they're so hurt and they cannot get past certain traumas that they've dealt with.
So, if a man is enjoying his solitude, let him be.
I want to say this, but I am. There's not really any men these days. You know what, masculine men. When I'm talking about masculine, I don't mean bulk dudes. I'm talking about masculine men. Where are those guys?
They are everywhere. Just take a minute to see.
Someone like my brother and my dad. They're
what makes a masculine?
Yeah, what do you
man?
want in a masculine man?
It has nothing to do with looks. It's just a guy who can just support you and no jealousy. Just it's not easy dating me, because, like I said, I'm kind of like an alpha.
He was like, if it's not easy, I'm out. Because men are simple beings. So if you're gonna play games, they're out.
So I got to meet someone who's more alpha than me.
So you want more alpha, you don't want a beta.
No,
because a lot of
absolutely
alpha homegirls that I have a little bit more of a beta boyfriend situation.
Because I have dated someone that was very, very a yes man.
So she meant she dated a nice guy, but clearly she didn't appreciate it. Well, guys, that was all for today. We'll be back soon.